Thursday, 5th of March 2009, it's been snowing, which is why I'm slipping and sliding here. Just on my way to investigate some mysterious footprints, which we've heard about in somebody's garden. Okay then, Mrs. Wade, when did you first notice the prints?
It was about 7:30 this morning, looking out for all the snow, and quite amazed at the amount of it, and lo and behold, there are these prints, which at first I thought were strange, and then as the morning has gone on, I've got more and more intrigued with them, and looked up your telephone number and said, come and have a look.
Well, great. It's always useful to get early information about things. Do you sometimes get animals coming in from the adjoining field?
Well, we have a ha-ha down at the end of the garden with fencing. We've had cattle that have trodden it down and come up, but I can't say. I would think probably through the Devon bank and across from the other gardens.
.5. That's the stride frequency, taking from one front to the next, or alternatively about 11.5 inches between the start of one print and the between the finish of one print and the start of the next. Now, of course, you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out it's a good idea to follow visible footprints, but these particular ones, they just disappear into an area where there's no snow. So the track basically just peters out. So the tracks head towards the house and appear to resume just over here. The big tracks being my size 11s, but the mystery tracks basically then, if I've got the direction right, these are the ones where the entity is departing the scene. And again, if one follows them, then they head basically over towards this post thing and appear to turn around and head along next to the flower bed, and again disappear because there's no snow actually under the hedge. Did it come from the fields?
But why are we making such a fuss about this? Well, on the night of the 8th and 9th of February 1855, and a couple of later nights, after a light snowfall, a series of hoof-like marks appeared in the snow across parts of South Devon. These so-called footprints, measuring 1.5 to 2.5 inches wide and 8 inches apart, continued throughout the countryside for a total of over 100 miles. They were popularly supposed to have been the work of the devil, and the story of the devil's footprints, otherwise known as the Great Devon Mystery, has been a firm favourite with forteans ever since. Now, don't get me wrong, I have very sincere doubts that the Horned One did visit Devon in 1855, and I think it even less likely that he visited the county, more specifically a housing estate round the corner from where I live, last night. But something did. I've always been convinced that the story of the devil's footprints back in 1855 had a perfectly rational biological explanation, and by perfectly rational I don't mean the stories of an escaped kangaroo. And I don't mean the ideas that it was made by little men from Alpha Centauri in a flying saucer, and I don't even mean the idea that they were made by a flock of geese with large lumps of ice frozen to their feet. But I think there's a perfectly rational zoological, nay, natural history explanation for it all. And I think that whatever happened in South Devon in 1855 happened again in Mrs. Wade's garden last night. But what could it be? Therein lies the question. And I have to admit that at the moment we just don't know. But unlike in 1855, we now have decent video footage and close-up photographs of the phenomenon, which at least may go some way towards helping us find out what caused it.